Click on
Okay.
recording. All right, awesome. Okay, so as we're recording this, I'm gonna just say hi. My name is Chris Rosima. I am your host for this evening, and tonight we're gonna talk all things aches and pains because I don't know about you, but the older I get, the weirder my aches and pains get. I can have aches and pains getting out of bed. I can have aches and pains getting into bed. So it is something that I think everyone needs to understand better. But as we get older, we have more of them. So it seems a lot more um, timely at our age. Um, and just so that everyone knows, like these kind of things can feel kind of overwhelming in terms of all these changes that happen in our bodies. And so um, we got to understand that there's lots of tools and supports that we can access to help us get through these kinds of age-related changes, these kinds of exercise-related issues, and there's things that we can do to help ourselves heal from aches and pains. And I think everybody would say that they would like to be able to sleep better. They'd like to be able to, socialize with friends more without having to feel like they were hurting, exercise more freely, do the hobbies that you like or the lifestyle that you like. Lifting bee boxes, that's not light work. And really just feel more present in our lives. And if you are in pain, those things are hard. Those things were made harder because of pain. So what we're going to talk about today is the how and the why of the how to get to the place where you can do those things um, more easily and with less pain, and then you can manage your levels. And so as we go along through the class, keep asking yourself, what is one thing I would enjoy more if pain wasn't in my life? Okay. Also, Lynn, anytime you want, interrupt with a question. Um, is like super, super casual,
Okay.
this class. Um, the thing that we got to realize is that actually pain is actually a natural part of life. But what we experience in our day-to-day lives can actually be influenced by other factors. Certain types of pain, like injury pain or illness pain or aging pain, are kind of inevitable, but they can be managed better and they can often be managed with much more natural solutions than television ads would have you believe. And I will be so bold to say that even most chronic pain issues can be managed or even avoided by addressing some of the underlying causes, especially if they're related to diet or lifestyle side effects and habits. Um, our diet, if your diet is high in processed foods or excess sugar, even canola oil can contribute to worsening of chronic pain conditions like arthritis or digestive issues, because these foods feed the inflammation cycle in the body and they disrupt our gut microbiome. And more, understanding how the gut microbiome impacts our whole body, it's becoming more and more evident that our care of our gut is really critical in our overall health. So adding things like colorful vegetables and healthy fats and fermented foods. We eat a lot of sauerkraut. We eat a lot of kimchi. I make sourdough bread. Um, those are really good ways to actually reduce some pain and discomfort in our bodies. Then there's lifestyle choices. So if you lead a life where you're sitting a lot, that can lead to muscle weakness and joint stiffness and back pain, because daily movement is actually what keeps our muscles strong and our joints flexible. So I always used to tell my father-in-law, if you don't move it, you lose it. And you lose
Yep.
it super fast. It's easy to lose it. It is hard to gain it back again. If you've ever known anyone who's gone into the hospital for any length of time, if they've been in the hospital even 3 days, oftentimes they'll come home significantly weaker than when they went in because you lose so much muscle mass by just not moving. Um, Daily movement actually reduces our joint pain over time. And it seems kind of counterintuitive, but if you have arthritis, the best thing you can do is keep moving.
Yep.
Yeah. And the other thing that I think a lot of us have forgotten about is that posture, our actual posture when we're sitting or when we're walking or when we're standing can actually prevent discomfort as well. I can remember when I was a kid, my mom and teachers would tell you to stand up straight and walk straight.
Mhm.
Now everybody slumps and hunches and like we're all kind of curved in on ourselves, and that's starting to cause our discomfort. Um, Most people use, say, 10,000 steps as an indicator of getting a good amount of activity during the day. But for a lot of people, if you're not getting 10,000, don't worry about 10. Try for 5, try for 2,500. Whatever you can do to increase your movement and then slowly increase it a little bit every week. You don't have to jump in at the deep end. You can wade in and then keep going, or gentle movement, things like swimming, yoga, water aerobics. Those are also very, very good ways of keeping our joints lubricated and our muscles intact. It's also very good, especially for women, for things like balance. Women I know seem to lose um, their balance very quickly when they age. So, swimming, yoga, and things in the water help you maintain that sense of balance. Then there's the side effects of medications, things I know very well. Um, some pain actually comes from side effects of medications. And while I'm not here to treat or diagnose, I have to tell you, I have to take a statin every day because I've had 2 heart attacks from stress. When I started taking a statin, nobody talked to me about side effects. And I ended up with such incredible hip and leg pain when I was in bed. I thought something was really, really wrong with me. And what was really wrong with me was that statins block an enzyme called CoQ10, and
Right.
CoQ10 is a muscle. I'm not sure if it's an enzyme or a protein. I don't know, but it is critical to muscle health. And as soon as I started adding that into my diet in terms of a big supplement, my leg pain went away completely. We changed my statin to a one that was less likely to cause that pain, and I added CoQ10 and my pain went away. So side effects to medications, that's not the only one, but side effects to medications can actually cause pain. So if you're trying to do all the natural things and you're doing that exercise and you still are having pain, it might be worthwhile if you're on medications to have a look at what you're on and see what side effects they could potentially cause. Because sometimes it's as easy as adding a supplement to counteract it. Um, and maybe if depending on who you are, maybe you can replace a medication with a natural product. I have admitted to myself that I will be on certain medications after the second heart attack forever. So where my sweet spot is I manage all the side effects naturally and I'm on the medication. So I feel like I'm getting the best of both worlds. Everybody gets to decide that for themselves, talking with their healthcare provider, but there are options of ways that you can support your body, in its reality right now. And then there is probably the biggest threat to our health, and that's stress. Stress and anxiety manifest physically in our bodies. Headaches, muscle tension, the worsening of chronic pain. Um, Stress is, for me, the single biggest thing that we need to address in our world. Chronic, unrelenting stress. So things like mindfulness practice, relaxation techniques like meditation or um, yoga again, or massage therapy, things like that, or using essential oils for emotional processing. All of these things can help ease the symptoms of pain caused by stress. Then there's things like habits. Habits that we have can also impact our pain levels. Smoking and alcohol use can impact pain levels. Poor sleep habits can make pain much worse. And now smoking impacts it because it reduces blood flow and actually delays healing and increases inflammation in our body. Um, Poor sleep impairs our body's ability to regenerate because it regenerates overnight when we're in deepest sleep, and our brain regenerates when we're in deepest sleep. Um, the interesting thing about alcohol is people often go to it because they're under stress and they think that it is a stress reliever, and it might seem like it's helping in the short term, but it is impacting your sleep. You're not getting as deep of a sleep, so your body can't regenerate when you have alcohol in your system. It's just like caffeine. Your body doesn't get to sink into those deep sleep um, patterns overnight. And those patterns are extremely important in our cell recovery and in our neuron recovery. So let's talk a minute about painkillers and other kind of band-aid solutions. Now, painkillers work great when you have acute pain. Um, you've had surgery, you've broken a bone, you need some painkillers. But long term, they're probably not the best solution for people with pain. Um, and then there's a whole other level if you get to the opioid level of painkillers, and even non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. They can be quite impactful on your overall health taken in the long term. Um, so these are or should be considered short-term interventions to get you through a particularly acute phase of something. But long term, they pose significant consequences to our body. And sometimes even can worsen an injury because you're masking the pain. And so your
Hmm.
body's not getting the signals, right? Um, and the issue with these is that conventional pain meds don't actually treat the problem. They're just a band-aid on top of it to help you get through some acuteness. But long term, they're not fixing anything. Um, so we keep taking them to stop the pain, but the cause of the pain is never addressed. And it's a huge spiral. The cause is not addressed, you take more painkillers, so you don't address the cause, so you take more painkillers, and it's really can be detrimental. The non-steroidal anti-inflammatories and acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, they're really popular over-the-counter medications, but they're not good long-term. They can do things like damage our stomach lining, which can lead to ulcers and bleeding. Can also long-term increase your risk of heart attack and stroke. It can increase your risk of kidney damage over time. And they are known to deplete the antioxidant glutathione, which is essential for our health. Okay. Much like my statin depletes CoQ10, painkillers like Tylenol deplete glutathione. And so you're going to end up with a side effect from that. Then there's opioids, which can be a popular prescription, but significant long-term issues. Significant. People become tolerant to the dosage, which means a higher dose is needed for the same pain level. There is a huge risk of addiction and dependence. They have side effects of things like depression and anxiety, mood irregulation, cognitive dysfunction. They can also cause respiratory issues. They depress our respiratory system, making us think we need to breathe less. They can cause hormonal imbalances and a significantly weakened immune system. So, and they also, interestingly enough, increase our sensitivity to pain. So they increase our sensitivity to pain. So we think we need more. So we take more. We increase our sensitivity. Yeah. It's really easy to see how people get addicted to opioids very quickly. Um, and there's no judgment in any of this. This is just awareness and education. If you are coming off of something like a massive car accident, you will probably be prescribed short-term opioid pain medication if you've got lots of broken bones. It's just understanding the short-term need and the moving forward to get off. I mean, these painkillers were never really meant to be used as long-term solutions. They were meant to be used as short-term solutions to acute issues. But there's lots of things that we can do for the long term. So one of the best things to think about is that our diet does play a significant role in managing chronic pain and inflammation. Many common foods that we eat, our diet tends to be in the world these days highly processed. Um, Many common foods can exacerbate our inflammation level and leading to increased pain. I mean, when you eat something that's highly salty and then you realize that your rings are tight, that is a direct relationship between higher salt intake and retaining water. And it's like that for a lot of different foods. So you could adopt a pain-free eating approach that can be like a huge, powerful strategy to help you manage your discomfort naturally. So let's talk about some foods that contribute to inflammation. So processed and fried foods, first of all. So highly processed snacks, fast food, and fried items are probably three of the biggest food groups that can lead increased inflammation and contribute to a worsening of arthritis pain and a worsening of other joint pain. Refined carbohydrates and sugars are another big category of foods that lead to inflammation. Foods like store-bought white bread, sugary drinks, all of those spike our blood sugar levels and promote inflammation responses, especially when we eat them without adequate protein to balance it out. So you can, higher protein diet, you could probably have some of these foods in your diet, these other foods, inflammatory foods, but the protein helps protect you. And then when it comes to sweeteners, opt for not natural things like honey or maple syrup. Now I saw someone once say, well, honey is just sugar, or maple syrup is just sugar, but it actually isn't.
Unprocessed.
Hmm?
Unprocessed for starters.
Yes, unprocessed. They also have some minerals and enzymes in them. One from the honeybee for honey, and from the tree. The tree actually provides a lot of trace minerals into the sap, which becomes maple syrup. And those things are not found in highly refined white sugar. So people are going to eat sugar. I'm a realist about this. People are not many people are going to go on a sugar-free complete diet. So if you're making choices, the better choices are ones that provide other things for you, like minerals and enzymes. Um, Now, conventional wheat, when it comes to conventional wheat flour, it's typically considered an inflammatory food. But ancient grains like einkorn or kamut or spelt are generally more tolerable in our diet. So if you're going for some anti-inflammatory, you can reduce your white flour and increase some of your more ancient grains and help balance it off. And you can also switch to fermented breads like sourdough, which has a lot less inflammation markers in it because of the fermentation process. Some of those sugars and things are already pre-digested by the bacteria. And then there's some foods that actually fight inflammation. So fruits, like berries and oranges and leafy greens are actually inflammation fighters. So increase the intake of those. Berries are probably some of the most highly antioxidant foods on the planet. I actually think they are the most highly antioxidant. They're also high in vitamins and phytonutrients, which protect the body from oxidative stress. Things like wild-caught fatty fish like salmon and mackerel or sardines are super high in omega-3 fatty acids, which also have a strong anti-inflammatory impact on them. So you can increase your level of those foods to get more omega-3s to help reduce joint pain and inflammation, they're especially helpful in conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. And if you don't like fish, which a lot of people don't, there we have an excellent green omega-3 made from um, algae. So it's vegan. Um, You want to increase the whole grains in your diet, unrefined grains like freshly milled flour, oats, rice, quinoa, lots of fiber in them. And so they help lower inflammation. They also help regulate blood sugar more effectively. And that's because of the fiber. It's amazing. Fiber is an amazing blood sugar regulator. Then there's spices and herbs. We've used spices and herbs for centuries as healers. Things like turmeric and ginger and garlic are powerful anti-inflammatories. And curcumin, which is the active ingredient in turmeric, has been shown to reduce pain and swelling in conditions like osteoarthritis. Food can be medicine. So the key to most pain is chronic inflammation. And it is especially in conditions like arthritis, in muscle pain, in autoimmune disorders. And inflammation is actually the body's natural response to an injury or an infection. But when it becomes chronic, it can lead to long-term damage of the tissues and joints that where it is. And it's that damage that results in the persistent pain. Okay, so that's why we talk about antioxidants, because antioxidants help combat oxidative stress, which is a process where these things called free radicals, which are unstable molecules, they damage cell membranes. And that contributes to inflammation and pain. So by neutralizing those free radicals, you are reducing the inflammation potential in your body, and you're promoting healing because your cells are not being damaged by them. And Young Living has two very powerful antioxidant supplements, Ningxia Red and Golden Turmeric, which incredibly reduce the amount of pain. I do Ningxia Red every single day and have for the past 2.5 years. And it is probably, I think it's the single biggest impactor on my health that I have done outside of adding CoQ10 because it had side effects. And Ningxia Red is a supplement drink that combines wolfberries, which are also known as goji berries, grown in a particular region, Ningxia province in China, and they have the highest antioxidant score out of any of the berries. But then it goes a step further, and it includes berries like blueberries and pomegranates and cherries, which are all antioxidant levels, and then adds lemon or orange yuzu essential oils to give it a very nice citrusy kick. Now goji berries are really an interesting berry because they don't seem like a berry because they're not plump and juicy. They're more like a raisin, but they are packed with vitamins and minerals, and especially high levels of antioxidants, such as one called zeaxanthin. And zeaxanthin is very good for vision. But the reason that they have this high level of these vitamins and minerals is because Ningxia province is kind of at the base of the river systems of the Himalayas. So all of the water coming down out of the mountains is bringing all of those minerals off of the rocks that it's tumbled over and watering these plants, and the trees are taking it up, and those minerals end up in the berries. Now, the reason that that's so good is that these compounds actually lower stress and lower inflammation because they're protecting our cells and helping our cells stay healthy. Because lower inflammation equals lower pain, you will find a marked decrease in your pain levels when you have a high antioxidant level in your body. And then golden turmeric. Lots of people talk about turmeric as a supplement for arthritis and joint pain. And it's because of the curcumin, which is turmeric's anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. It has been widely studied by it's lots and lots of research articles on curcumin and turmeric. And it works by reducing inflammation at the molecular level because it blocks certain inflammatory enzymes. such as one's called COX-2. It blocks that inflammatory enzyme completely. In fact, it blocks them so well, it blocks them as well as a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. That's
Wow.
that's the mechanism that NSAIDs have too. Um, and so golden turmeric has these benefits, plus it has better absorption than any other turmeric supplement out there because A, it's been infused with essential oils that help transport the enzymes into your cells. And because it is combined with things that make it more um, um, absorbable, like black pepper, makes it taste great too. How we doing? We doing good?
Yep.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about headaches and tension. This is its own class of pain. And um, if you have migraines or tension headaches or cluster headaches or sinus headaches, you know how bad a headache can get. It can make it so that you can't even function at all. My daughter gets migraines occasionally and it knocks her out. And so there's a few essential oils that we recommend for uh, constant headaches. Clarity, peppermint, and valor. Um, and we recommend them because they're easy to apply. They go right through our olfactory system into our brain. And they also, on the skin, can go right to the source of the pain. So Clarity is an essential oil blend with 12 essential oils. There's a lot, like 12. But the things like basil and cardamom and rosemary and peppermint. And they're all soothing for tension and releasing stress. So if your headaches are tension based, they're the ones that start in your shoulders because your shoulders are up like this, or because you're in a stressful job, Clarity is one of those oil blends that will help you relax those tense muscles and then help you to focus. Peppermint, if I was to pick one oil out of all of these to use, it would be peppermint because it's so useful for many things. But peppermint is great for migraines as well. It is soothing and cooling to the body overall. And when you have a headache, you can roll it on your neck, you can roll it across your forehead, on your temples, um, on your shoulders. It's also very good to rub on your thyroid area to help relax that area. But it's also extremely cooling. So if you are also having a hot flash, peppermint is your go-to oil because it will cool you down so fast. It will stop a hot flash in 30 seconds. It's amazing.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I thought I was gonna have to dump it on my head.
Just roll it up the back of your neck.
Really?
Yeah, just roll it up the back of your neck. And if you have whole body hot flashes, your wrists and your ankles and up the back of your neck, I was just my head is boiling hot flash. So I would just put it up the back of my neck
Oh, yeah.
and sometimes along my shoulders. But peppermint is an amazing, it'll stop your hot
Hmm.
flash. It'll also help with migraines and with tension headaches. And the other oil is another oil blend called Valor. And it's really great for tension as well because it has frankincense and camphor wood in it, which support physical healing and a relaxation of muscles. Like it's deeply calming. Then it also has an oil called blue tansy in it. And a blue tansy is blue. The oil is actually blue. So Valor, when you put it out on your hand, it's blue. It is well known for its ability to soothe your central nervous system and align your body. We call it the chiropractor in the bottle. But it can calm your central nervous system right down because of the spruce oil and the frankincense.
Hmm.
So it will help release the tension full body wise. And you can make diffuser blends out of these. You can put roller tops on the bottle. Um, but some tips for headaches are as soon as you feel like you're getting a headache, hydrate, drink some more water. because you probably haven't had enough water that day, and that has helped to lead to your headache. Apply your oils liberally and frequently, but don't get your peppermint too close to your eyes. I'm going to tell you that does hurt a little bit. Um, and if you have a system, you can layer clarity and then valor and then peppermint if you're not using a roller. You can layer them on top of each other. Peppermint actually helps to drive the other oils into your muscles. It's a real it sinks into your skin and your body and it pulls the other ones with it. You could take a nice Epsom salt bath and diffuse your oils. There's multiple ways that you can use them for headaches and tension.
Oh,
Let's talk about arthritis and gout for a minute, because that's kind of our age range. Yes.
yeah.
Um, Inflammation, um, it is painful. There are several supplements and that are very good for arthritis, and then one for gout. Now, Agilese is a supplement. And it has a combination of frankincense powder, which is very anti-inflammatory. Historically, and ancient worlds used frankincense as an anti-inflammatory. It has calcium to help your minerals, joint health. It has turmeric in it and black pepper, essential oils. Now, black pepper essential oil reduces pain and inflammation, but it also helps the turmeric be more bioavailable. Um, if you're having daily joint pain, it's perfect for that because um, it's it is a daily supplement that you take, and so it builds up over time. Now, my personal favorite for all pain, and especially sciatic pain, because I have that in the weirdest times, is a cream called Cool Azul pain cream. And I love this cream. And I have one in the house, I have one in the RV, because I don't want to be caught without it. Because you just never know when you're going to bend over to do something and you're bent the wrong way and you flared your sciatic nerve. It is an amazing thing. It has got essential oils and natural ingredients that actually cool down and soothe sore areas. It has a couple of menthols. It has a regular menthol and then it has menthol salicylate, which help reduce the inflammation and the pain. They feel marvelous on. You can feel Cool Azul sucking into the body parts where you've put it. Now, if you suffer from gout, that's a whole different reason for pain. Gout is triggered because of the buildup of uric acid in your blood, which leads to painful joint inflammation. And uric acid gets crystally. And so the crystals land in your joints, particularly your thumbs and your big toes. Traditionally, that's where it starts. And you want to make sure that you are getting rid of the uric acid in your body. So you're often told when you have gout to eat an alkaline diet because alkaline environments can help neutralize that acidity of the uric acid, and helps to reduce flare-ups. So alkaline is a powder, kind of like um, uh, the what you used to put in water for acid reflux. It is
Oh,
especially
Alka-Seltzer?
Alka-Seltzer. That's the one. Alkaline though is created to help lower your body's pH level, and it has a blend of alkaline salts and essential oils. It's actually quite delicious. It's lemon lime, but it's lemon lime from lemon and lime oil, and it
Mm.
helps support healthy digestion and maintain your body's pH balance, which can help prevent gout flare-ups. Um, and you can all, of course, with all of these things that you can do topically, there's still things like exercise and light walking and swimming that will all help pain in flexibility in these areas. So it's really a combination of things. No one thing is going to manage your pain. This is a whole lifestyle kind of um, issue. So let's talk a little bit about joint discomfort and stiffness. Now I found, God, when I hit probably about 55, I started to realize when I got up out of a chair, it started to take me a little bit longer to get moving comfortably. I would stiffen up a lot faster than I ever remembered doing before. But there are some really good things that we can do to help slow that process down. And that's just a process of aging and our body not getting the nutrients and things that it needs anymore and not being able to use them as well. So there's some things that we can do and some supports that we can take to help our bodies avoid getting there so fast. And the first thing, and one of the things I recommend to everyone that I talk to is sulfurzyme. It is a supplement called MSM, and it's a long name. I can never remember what MSM stands for, but it is an organic sulfur, actually. And it is typically lacking in majority of our diets. And what Young Living does is it pairs the MSM with Ningxia wolfberry to make this amazing joint supplement. Also helps with hair, skin, and nails, which is fabulous as well. But the MSM and the wolfberry actually work synergistically they help maintain the structure of cartilage and connective tissue. So I don't know about you, but I at any one time know at least two people with like an Achilles tendon issue or other kinds of tendon issues, knee tendons or whatever. They're either pulling them, they're straining them, or they're ripping them. And it is connective tissue issues as we age. So um, sulfurzyme is created to help support ongoing cartilage and tendon flexibility and health. So it is, I think, one of the most vital things that we can take. And most times I talk to people about it, they've never heard of it. And the one thing I need to say, sulfur and sulfa are not the same thing. So if you know people who are allergic to sulfa drugs, this is not that. This is actual organic sulfur, and it's a completely different thing. Yeah. The other thing that helps a lot is our Ortho Ease massage oil. The Young Living massage oils, there's a series of them, are good carrier oils that are then mixed with essential oils to make a blend that are for specific purposes. So Ortho Ease has oils like wintergreen and peppermint and juniper to help promote relaxation, but it targets the tight muscles. Like peppermint, we said, goes deep, deep into the body. Wintergreen is the smell of A535 and all the muscle rubs out there.
Love that.
I do. I love wintergreen. This is real wintergreen. That is synthetic wintergreen. They're very different. But I love the smell of wintergreen.
Mm.
You know, I love the smell of, and it just feels like it's working. And then probably because it smells so good. But
Yeah.
it's really helpful for helping you stretch out before bed or in the morning, rubbing it on stiff muscles and then doing some yoga or doing some Pilates or whatever. It really, really helps that, and doing a brief massage on a muscle that maybe is strained. Okay, let's talk about our stomach and kidneys, because these can actually give us some pretty painful experiences. And while we tend to go to antacids for things like heartburn and stomach pain, that actually can mask some of the underlying issues and potentially create some long-term health risks. So better than masking it is to go to something like a digestive enzyme, which helps you digest your food better and helps ensure that your body absorbs more of the nutrients from the food you eat, and reduces pain that way than just masking it with a calcium-based blocker. Because when the digestive system fails to produce enough enzymes, that can actually lead to bloating, which leads to stomach pain, and even some kidney strain over time due to incomplete digestion.
So can I just ask you something? Is an
Yeah,
enzyme the same as like a probiotic?
no, an enzyme is different than a probiotic. So in
Oh,
gut health, you have the digestion part, you have the absorption part, and then you have an elimination part. So the digestion part is enzymes. The
Okay.
absorption part is probiotics. And then the elimination part is something called comfort cleanse or like something to help you go to the bathroom.
Right.
So there's three phases, and often we are putting probiotics in, but we have no digestive enzymes, or we have few digestive enzymes, so we're not breaking down the food properly. So the probiotics, instead of working with sand, they're working with boulders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then there's a whole other category of things called prebiotics. And
Hmm.
that's just fiber that feeds the probiotics
Oh,
to help them
okay.
do their job and make sure that they replicate. Um, so what um, enzymes do, and essential enzymes 4 is the enzyme that we use. It actually supports your digestive process by breaking down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. So it breaks those things down better so that the body can absorb the nutrients from them, and that gets you a healthier digestion, and it reduces the discomfort. Things don't sit as a lump.
Hmm.
Um, and Essential Enzymes has a blend of animal and plant-based enzymes, which helps you digest a wide range of foods. These things are very carefully thought through. The Young Living Science Department has 40 PhDs in it, all working in different areas of health. And so when they come out with a product, it is, a broad spectrum and very particular ingredients in there to help a certain problem.
So would you take enzymes every day?
I take them every day, yes. Uh, yeah, typically midway through the morning, and then they're in there. A lot of people take them right before dinner. It depends on how, like, I don't get a lot of bloating anymore, so I just take them like at lunchtime. If I was to find that I was really feeling bloated every time I ate dinner, I would move that to before, like about an hour before dinner, let it get in there, and then it we would help digest the bigger meal of the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I used to get lots of bloating.
yeah,
Um, and I discovered, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago when my gallbladder packed it in. I had been battling gallbladders for like 20 years, but it's fine. You know,
yeah,
I'll make it through. And it
yeah,
finally just died. And when I got my gallbladder out, a whole bunch of my stomach issues that I've had since, I mean, I'm 68 now.
yeah,
I had stomach issues since I was 17. They thought I had ulcers.
yeah,
And it wasn't till my gallbladder went away that it eliminates.
yeah,
Once in a while, I get what I call cranky stomach,
yeah,
cranky belly, when, after eating supper and that,
yeah.
um, it bothers me a bit, but
Do you
not
find
very
it's typically after a higher fat dinner?
well. I've I tried figuring it out for years and years what
Mm.
it was. We eat mostly game
Yeah,
or homegrown chickens
yeah,
or home raised pigs. Um, yeah, we only go to town once a month or once every 2 months. And we buy our Hawkins cheesy big multi bag, and that does for 2 months.
yeah,
But for the most part,
yeah.
I buy ingredients and I make pretty well everything from scratch.
Hmm.
Um, when they opened up a little diner up at the corner of the highway there, we went a few times because it was novel and I
Oh
didn't have any.
yeah,
uh, our stomachs couldn't take the grease. It was like, okay, we can't do that anymore.
yeah,
As much as I
yeah.
wanted a day off, but yeah, I've never really been able to pinpoint exactly what triggers my
Hmm.
belly. But
Hmm.
I mean, it's so much better since I got my gallbladder out.
Yeah,
But I still get it once in a while.
yeah, yeah. And my understanding is that a lot of gallbladder issues before it comes out is a digestive issue, like it's a food digestion issue, and it's not getting
Mm-hmm.
broken down enough, so it's putting too much stress on the gallbladder. But
I
Now that
remember eating yogurt every day, hoping that would
yeah,
help.
oh yeah, no. That's probiotics. That's a different thing altogether.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, there's so much information out there. It gets overwhelming and
Yes, it does.
you don't know what to believe. Like
Yeah.
uh and especially like if you're watching things on internet, like
Yep.
don't eat protein because it'll like my doctor when I had all of a sudden my knee, I couldn't stand on it one day.
Yep.
It hurt so much. And he says, "Oh, you got the onset of arthritis in your knee." And I said, "I'm far too young." This was only a couple of years ago. I said, "I'm
It
far too young for that."
is.
And he says, "Well, it's good for you. It's pretty good for your age." But he asked me if I ate lots of meat.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, we have meat for supper." And I told him that it was 90% of the meat we eat is game, like
Yeah.
wild game. But I've heard several times that like meat will trigger arthritis. Yet I didn't hear you say anything about that.
Well,
It's
I think it's like you said, I think it's really hard to make blanket statements about something.
mm-hmm.
I think some things will cause things in people, and other things will cause other things in other people.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I don't think when the internet is talking about eating meat, they're talking about eating game.
No.
Not enough people um, in their testing systems, if any, have a diet of game, which is
Yeah.
super low fat food,
Yeah.
right? It could be that your particular biome doesn't break down meat in as good a way as other people's does.
Yeah.
And I think it's a process of trying things out and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't. Now, you might have had a very high inflammatory food meal a couple of days before that knee incident.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
unless you start being a detective and working your way back, so you wake up one morning and you're really, really achy. I would start thinking, okay, so what happened yesterday? What happened the day before? What did I eat? What did I do? Um, was there any particular unusual thing in my world? And go from there.
Yeah.
I tend to think that most people, depending on their diet, have issues to work on in terms
Oh,
of diet,
for
right?
sure.
It's just I think um we tend to eat like our meat all comes from a farmer I know up the street.
Mm-hmm.
Um and the chickens come from a different farmer, but yeah, chickens, pork, and beef all come from farmers that I know.
Mm-hmm.
But we go out for dinner once in a while, right? So
Yeah.
I can tell, I can tell the next day by the amount of water I'm drinking and how swollen my fingers feel that I've been out and eaten food that I haven't made,
Yeah.
right? Because I can feel my fingers have swollen. I can feel super thirsty. We use minimal salt here.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of things. And so I take certain things all the time just because I've come to the point where I know what goes on with me. I really
Yeah.
like alkaline because if we go out for, I don't know, sushi or if we go out for like Indian food, I get some acid reflux because it's very highly acidic food. So the alkaline helps me to get my pH down and it's good for my body. It's not got anything in it that's not good for my body. So
Yeah.
I manage my symptoms that way, right? I
Mhm.
also use, there's an oil blend we have called Digize, and it's got a bunch of, it's got ginger and fennel and peppermint and tarragon in it. And those are all super good digestive oils. They're very good on your stomach. And I can get acid reflux and put the Digize here and on my belly, and it will go away.
Really?
The acid reflux will go away. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think there's different things you can try, and there's different levels of intensity. Like Digest is super you can use it anywhere at any time. Enzymes you have to take more regularly, right? So you kind of just play around with what works for you. Um, Now alkaline actually, so it's very good, like I said, for acid reflux and heartburn, but it's also really good for kidneys because kidney stones and
Yep.
gout are both uric acid issues. So if you have any kind of kidney issues in your family or in your, like if you've had kidney stones before, having
Yes.
something that is alkaline like alkaline and having that, I would take that daily. If I had gout or kidney stones before, I would have alkaline daily. I only use it now as an intermediate occasional thing because I don't have kidney issues, right? So
Well,
that's,
touch wood. Haven't had a kidney stone in 15 years or something, thank goodness.
yeah. I know people who have them lots
I
and
used,
trying to
I,
talk to people about how do you not have these anymore.
yeah, yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like when I lived down in Langley, I got some 100-day flu, bronchitis, tonsillitis, pneumonia thing
Oh
that was
my
going on.
God.
Yeah. And I rarely ever sick.
Yeah.
And I just battled through it, but I had coughing fits so bad it dislodged a kidney stone.
Oh my God.
And I was still going to go to work, but I said to my sister, I can't get up in my truck. I
No.
think I hurt my back, and it was a kidney stone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
Mm,
had to break down and go to the doctor.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
And what people
what
don't
give you?
realize is some of the over-the-counter stuff like antacids, they actually do come with some side effects. Like Tums is not a non-impactful medication. Long-term use of it can cause nutrient deficiencies, it can cause kidney damage, it can cause worsening digestive imbalance,
Wow.
and it masks the things that are wrong. So by the time they're so bad that they can't be masked anymore, you've done some significant damage. So trying to do these things with more natural, less impact, like less dangerous solutions is the place to start.
Oh, you bet.
Mhm. Okay, so we got one more thing to go through. So now Canada can't get this, but there is a CBD line in the United States that they have designed specifically for chronic pain. I'm not going to talk too much about it because we can't get it in Canada. We can't
Yeah.
even order it to have it come. But the nice thing about this is they're reformulating this whole line. They used to buy the CBD from another farm. They are actually creating a farm to farm this themselves now so that they will have total control over the plant cycle and the creation of the oil, which is one of the things about Young Living that's different than every other oil company out there. There is no other essential oil company on the planet that has its own farms and grows its own raw materials. Most of
Wow.
them, well, all of them, all of the other ones, they buy from other farms or they buy from producers in other parts of the world. But Young Living has 40 farms worldwide. And then even partner farms that they partner with have to subscribe to a very stringent, beyond organic kind of standard in terms of seed production, growing, maintaining. There's no mechanical weeding. There's no herbicides or pesticides used. So Young Living has a very tight process of growing the raw materials for all of these products.
I would
Um,
imagine they've got lots of essential oils in that too, hey?
yes,
The yeah.
yes. So everything that Young Living makes, from face cream to supplements to household cleaning products, everything uses essential oils because that's all the plant medicine. Essential oils in a plant are there to help keep the plant healthy. They're antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory. They are there to keep the plant healthy. And you can extract those constituent components from the plants and it comes in the oil. So when the oil goes into like my Ningxia Red, I'm getting those things from the plant. And the last thing I want to talk about tonight is the Ningxia Reset. For many, many people, this is kind of the life-changing reset. It's a 14-day program where all you have to buy is the Ningxia to drink while you're doing it, but it works on flooding your body with the nutrients for 14 days to kickstart your cell health. It talks about food, it talks about exercise, it talks about sleep. And all of those things are surrounded by the drinking of the Ningxia. So if you are interested in looking at better sleep or having less inflammation in your body, this would be my recommendation for people to take. Because in the 14 days that you take it, you, like I said, flood your body. So you get your body from this place that it is now to this hyper enriched state. And the amount of testimonials and actual research coming out of this is showing huge increases in energy levels, increases in the length of sleep and the depth of sleep. So this is an amazing program. And the program is free. All the support is free. They've got a massive Facebook group where for the 14 days they're posting information about menus and posting information about exercise and talking about what Ningxia does for your body over those 14 days.
Hmm.
Um, and its impact on inflammation is pretty amazing. So,
So what are
um,
they? Little packages of liquid?
well, it comes in two forms. It comes in a bottle. Just a second. This is not Ningxia, it's water, but this is the Ningxia bottle. But this has got water
Okay.
in my diffuser.
Yeah.
It comes in a bottle or it comes in the little packets that you can see on the screen. The
Oh
little
yeah.
packets on the screen are 2 ounces. The bottles are 100 and what are they? They
Whole
are
bunch.
750 mils.
Oh yeah.
And so for the reset, you need 102 ounces, which is 4 bottles or 2 boxes of 60 of the packets. And that is because you're taking so much more than you would normally. Normally you take between 2 and 4 ounces a day. I do 4 because of my cardiac issues. Most people take 2. But during the reset, for the first 3 days, you take 12 and then you cut back to 6. And that's like I said, it's flooding your body, right? Jump starting, and then you just drop back after that. But it's gotten some amazing results. And there's a whole sneak peek group if you're interested in going and looking at some of the testimonials and results that have come out. We've done it every month this year, and they keep lots of records and data from every session.
Oh.
So there's a couple of ways that you can access all of this. Um, Young Living is just like Amazon these days. You can create an account, you order what you want when you want it, and it's sent directly to you. And when you create an account and you become a member, which is free, it just happens by creating an account and it asks if you want to be a member. You get things at wholesale price, which is 24% off retail. So that's your first big savings. Then, if you think you're going to continue this for a while, which I suggest for people when they start something new, 90 days is a marker that you'll see some change. It does things don't happen overnight. So to give it a good shot, 90 days. So if you put these on what's our loyalty program, you actually get spendable points back in your account. So for those 3 months, those 90 days, you would get 10% of your order back in your account as points, and you could spend that on other things. You wanted oils or whatever. Um, and that is way, and people who sign up and go on loyalty, I put $25 in their account as a incentive and a thank you for joining my organization. So that is our talk for today. Oh, and the other thing, in the US, you have to use the code ShareYL, but in Canada, all new members right now get 10% off their first order, as well as all those other things, which is what I call savings stacking. It's amazing.
So do you have your own website that you can look at everything?
Yeah, you can just go to this little QR code, or you could go to youngliving.com and click on Canada and go and have a look around. There's a point there where it says become a member. You click on that and you just go through it. It will ask you for a number. If you're going to do that, let me know and I'll give you my number.
Okay.
Because what that does is it links you to me,
Yeah.
and then I am your resource person, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that is aches and pains for tonight. Do you have any
Well, it
more
was really,
questions?
really interesting.
It's fascinating how these things are very connected.
You know, as I'm getting older, my friend and I were talking, um, and when we get moved over to Longworth, I said to her, like, I'd like to do more natural salve stuff, like making some stuff. I says, you know, I've never been a pill popper. I'm not on any medication. Um, like I don't take a lot of drugs. I used to get quite a few sinus headaches.
Oh yeah.
I don't, ever since I got a bunch of teeth pulled,
Oh.
it hasn't bothered me. Although winter allergies are horrible, but I don't take pills. I just
Yeah.
grin and bear it.
Yeah.
But I said to Grace, like I want to do things more natural.
Hmm.
Um, but I always thought essential oils were just things that
There's pretty
they
smells.
were smelly things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. They happen to smell nice, but man, are they powerful. So I used to have wicked hay fever. Like I was on antihistamines, steroidal nasal spray, and eye drops. And 2 years ago, I started using a combination of lavender, lemon, and peppermint in a roller. And I haven't used an antihistamine, a nose drop, or an eye drop since. And it actually, like the first year, I had to use a lot of oils to get through the year. The second year, about a quarter of the time I had to use oils. Last year, I didn't have to use it at all. Like it
Wow.
actually cured between that and the sulfurzyme, which is also shown scientifically to help improve allergies. Sulfurzyme is an amazing thing, and it just kicked me over the top. So now I don't have to use anything.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
and they were wicked allergies.
I get them the worst in the winter, and it's the dust from the wood
Yep,
and everything. We have no carpets because of allergies,
yep,
but you're talking about wintergreen.
yep,
I'm I sniff Vicks to
yep,
help so I can actually breathe. Like
yep.
I have a jar of Vicks next to the bed, next to the coffee table at
Mhm.
night, or
Yeah.
like when I'm sitting there at night. It's the
Mhm.
only thing that sort of keeps my sinuses open.
Yeah. Yeah. Eucalyptus.
Yeah.
We have a couple of lung blends in RC, Raven, and Melrose are three of them. On the floor of your shower are a really good place to put those so that the
Oh,
heat of the shower kind of evaporates the oil and so you breathe it in. But eucalyptus is the thing in that Vicks that you're kind of craving.
yeah,
Yeah. And Vicks is a bit problematic because it is a petroleum product.
yeah.
So we actually have a chest rub call it with our thieves blend of
Oh,
oils
yeah.
that's not petroleum based. And it works
Okay.
really well to clear you out. But yeah, I get it. Allergies are terrible. When you can't breathe, it's horrible.
Yeah. Well, Watkins used to make a eucalyptus spray,
Yep,
and I guess you sprayed it on a piece of Kleenex or
yep,
something. Well, during COVID,
yep,
when we're wearing masks so much, I used to spray that stuff.
yep.
I don't know Watkins even solid anymore, but I still
Yeah.
have some. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's such a good smell. And I remember as a child, my sister used to get bronchitis all
Yep.
the time,
Yep.
and they had vaporizers,
Yes.
and Mom used to put eucalyptus oil in
Absolutely.
there, and
Eucalyptus
I
is an
just
amazing lung. Yeah.
yeah
You can take any essential oil and make a spray out of it by combining it with water and witch hazel. Now, you need the witch hazel because if you just put it in water, it just sits on top of the water. But the witch hazel allows it to be blended in. So you can make any oil, any essential oil, a spray that way. And I do things like room sprays and bathroom sprays, all
yeah.
essential oils.
I didn't know about the witch hazel. I had this little spray bottle about so big,
Yep.
and I had gotten a bottle of thieves oil
Yep.
blend because that smells so good. And so
Mm.
I just I filled up this little jar with water and just put a bunch of drops in there. And
Yep.
we have it in the bathroom. And
Yep.
so every time you need a spray, I just shake the
Yeah.
bottle and spray.
Exactly. Spray it. It's beautiful.
It not only does it smell great, it works really good
It
too.
does. It
Yeah,
absolutely does. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So this is really interesting. Now I'm all excited.
Cool. Well, like I said, youngliving.com and then pick
Okay,
Canada in English and go and have a look and then
okay,
let me know and I can help you with any questions you have and we can go
perfect,
from there.
perfect.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Well, thank you for joining me tonight.
Oh, it was good. It was
Good.
very educational. Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Well, thanks for joining me and we'll
Okay,
talk soon.
see you later.
Bye.
Bye.